sphingolipidosis today. So we have 30, so we have 30 minutes now. So we'll try to finish today this lipid storage disorder. The sphingolipidosis means we have already seen sphingolipid. So sphingolipids are accumulated in different tissue and brain, and that will cause a disorder because of deficiency of certain enzyme that actually catalyze that sphingomyelin. These enzymes are present in lysosome, and that is why these are called lysosomal storage disorder. So this sphingolipidosis and one other like mucopolysaccharidosis. Have you studied mucopolysaccharidosis? Have you studied anywhere?
No.
No? Hurler syndrome, Hunter syndrome?
Yes.
This is mucopolysaccharides. Hurler syndrome and Hunter syndrome, heparan sulfate, termatan sulfate, Hurler and Hunter are mucopolysaccharides. So these two, there are two groups of lysosomal storage disease. One is sphingolipidosis, one other is mucopolysaccharidosis. We have already done this mucopolysaccharidosis, and we are doing sphingolipidosis. These two are lysosomal storage. This lysosomal storage disorder is actually inborn error of metabolism. We are doing inborn error of metabolism. See, whatever we study in biochemistry, they are grouped into one category of disorder. They are called inborn error of metabolism. So remember that, inborn error of metabolism. So let's talk about the disorder. So you know the sphingolipids. All sphingolipids are glycolipids. Aren't they glycolipids?
Yes, they are.
Plus one phospholipid. What is that? Sphingomyelin. Sphingomyelin is only sphingophospholipid. Otherwise, all sphingolipids are glycolipids. Now, if you see this, this is the structure. We have already done the structure of. So I don't need to. I just let me review a little bit only. This is the structure of what? Sphingosine, sphingolipid. So if there is monosaccharide, so it can be galactosyl and glucosyl. We have done this. And do you know this galactosyl ceramide is present in neuronal tissue? Do you know that? Tell me, anyone, please be quick, because we don't have that much time. Do you know galactosyl ceramide?
No.
You don't know galactosyl ceramide is present in myelin? Did you forget? Galactosyl and sulfogalactosyl ceramide are present in myelin. Does anybody remember? Galactosyl ceramide is present in myelin. Does anybody remember?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So galactosyl ceramide is present in myelin, but glucosyl ceramide, it is present in extraneuronal tissue. It is not present in glucosyl, is not present in neuron. Galactosyl is only present in myelin neuron. So these are extraneuronal. They are generally present in glucosyl, are present in extraneuronal. So if there is enzyme deficiency that causes degradation of this galactosyl ceramide, so problem will happen in neuronal tissue. If there is any problem related to galactosyl ceramide, the problem will present in which tissue?
Neuronal tissue.
Neuronal tissue. If there is glucosyl damage, it will present with which tissue? Extraneuronal tissue. So you can see here there are two disorders here. There are two disorders. One neuronal is related to galactosyl, with neuronal is related to Krabbe disease. Krabbe disease, Krabs disease. So do you know crab? Crab, you other CRA, I think CRA, crab. So this, you can correlate this crab with crab. This crab is very naughty crab, and that it's smiling. You can correlate that way. So galactosylceramide is present in neuron, and that is why any problem with metabolism of galactosylceramide will cause neuronal problem, and this disorder is Krabbe disease. And glucosylceramide, if there is any problem with glucosylceramide, G4 glucosyl and G4 Gaucher disease. So any problem with glucosylceramide will present with this disease, and this disorder is related to extraneuronal manifestation, predominantly extraneuronal manifestation. So did you remember this location of this sphingolipid and then presentation? Can you connect that location of lipid with presentation?
Yes.
Yes, the same way you can see here. This ganglioside are present more in neurons, and that is why this is related to neuronal manifestation. What is ganglioside? What is ganglioside?
It's not. It's a ganglion as well, like not completely.
It is present in ganglion, and this is a oligosaccharide with one neuraminic acid, gangster. Okay, that is ganglioside. What is globoside? In place of this, there is just a oligosaccharide, no gangster. Here is gangster in ganglioside. Gangster is Newman, neuraminic acid. A very novel man, neuraminic acid. And here there is no gangster, globoside, only oligosaccharide. And this globoside, as the name suggests, ganglia, it is present in ganglia, so neuronal manifestation. And globoside, it is present in extraneuronal tissue, and that is the extraneuronal manifestation you will see in globoside. And here the disorder is Tay-Sachs. Remember this disorder, Tay-Sachs disease. And this is related, globo is related to Fabry disease. So you can remember glowing fiber. So globoside, Fabry, glowing fiber. So globoside is related to Fabry disease, glowing fiber, mnemonics. So this Fabry disease present with in extraneuronal tissue. And we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 disorder. Fifth disorder is sphingomyelin defect. If there is catabolism of sphingomyelin, defect in catabolism of sphingomyelin. This is phospholipid of sphingosine backbone. So if there is damage in, if there is problem in metabolism of sphingomyelin, the problem will appear in both neuronal tissue plus extraneuronal tissue. Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Do you remember? So what is this disease? Galactosylceramide? Krabbe disease. And then what is this glucosylceramide?
Gaucher.
Gaucher disease. What is this ganglioside?
Tay-Sachs.
Tay-Sachs. What is this globoside? Fabry. What is this sphingomyelin deficiency? Niemann-Pick. Okay, Niemann-Pick. So let's see. Let's see this disorder. This is the slide from your first aid, USMLE first aid, and you can see here. So I will talk all the disorder very quickly from this slide. So you can see the enzyme deficiency. So I think if I talk about this, so it will be very difficult for you to understand. So let's have a quick review of this so that you will remember. Only I will talk about things that you remember. Now Fabry disease, you can see only Fabry disease X-linked recessive. All are autosomal recessive. So Fabry disease, glowing fiber is X-linked recessive, and glowing fiber, globoside, Fabry disease is related to peripheral manifestation. We will talk about this manifestation. Triad is there. We will talk about this manifestation. Now Tay-Sachs disease. Tay-Sachs disease is gangliosides. So this is neuronal. You can see neurodegeneration. So you can see manifestation. Now it is ganglioside related. So there are two disorders have. This is leukodystrophy. Have you seen MLD? Do you remember MLD? And other is GLD. So these are MLD and GLD. These two, there are two leukodystrophy. Leukodystrophy that happens in sphingolipidosis, leukodystrophy. And this both leukodystrophy, as you have seen crab, you can see galactoside. You can see galactosylceramide because this galactosylceramide from neuron. If you see, if there is problem with this galactosylceramide metabolism, then there will be demyelination. It's very easily conceivable thing. And second disorder is because of an enzyme deficiency that actually removes sulfate group from this galactosylceramide. This is called aryl sulfatase. So both are related to this myelin. That is why myelin synthesis or myelin metabolism. That is why this both disorder are related to leukodystrophy. So you will understand this thing. Metachromatic Krabbe disease. We will talk Krabbe disease more. Now Gaucher disease. Gaucher disease is autosomal recessive disease, and this G for glucosylcerebroside, glucosylceramide is there, and this enzyme deficiency, glucocerebrosidase, that enzyme that decomposes, that catalyzes glucosylceramide. So glucosylceramide or glucocerebroside is what happened. There is problem with this metabolism. That is why the problem present with extraneuronal. You can see hepatosplenomegaly, pancytopenia, osteopenia, but you don't see neuronal cell. Niemann-Pick, both, as I told you, hepatomegaly you can see, plus progressive neuronal degeneration. And it is because of sphingomyelin accumulation or sphingomyelin accumulation, and the enzyme deficiency is sphingomyelinase. Now you can, let's talk about each disorder very quickly. So Niemann-Pick disease is because of Niemann-Pick, both is there, and it is because of phospholipid. Which phospholipid? Sphingophospholipid, sphingomyelin deficiency accumulation. And if something is accumulated, we have already talked in enzyme chapter. If the product is accumulated, so there will not be synthesis of product. So this is sphingomyelin will be deposited, and then that is why new sphingomyelin will not be synthesized, and there will be pathogenesis. This is very easy to understand. Now occurs due to impaired degradation of sphingomyelin. That's conceived, that understood. Sphingomyelinase enzyme is deficient, and liver, spleen, bone marrow, and brain, both neuronal and extraneuronal tissue are involved. And this is sphingomyelin. You have already know. And this lipid breaks this bond. Sphingomyelinase. This catalyze this sphingomyelinase, catalyze this compound. So this you can remember from this picture. You can actually put into imagination. You can visit this YouTube channel also. I have taken this picture from this. You can see this is peak mnemonic channel. You can see this patient having this happens in this Niemann-Pick disease happens in Zeus population, and then this is hepatomegaly, splenomegaly, representation of hepatosplenomegaly and eye involvement, and hepatosplenomegaly, eye involvement plus brain involvement. Okay, so you can, I have used this, so you can go through, you can remember as you know. You can see this congenital disease, autosomal recessive in nature. There are two types of disorder. We don't have to remember that much to how many types of disorder are there. Anyway, there are two types of disorder, type A and type B, and these are common in Jewish population. This is important thing. And other important thing here is foam cell. The histological section, if you get from the patient's liver, because liver is also involved. So if you get from liver and spleen, you will get this type of foam cells. Foam cells is lipid-laden macrophages. So you will see lipid-laden macrophages. You can see in the form of mulberry. So you can see there is cluster of foam cells like this. So this is cluster of foam cells you will see here, and this is called mulberry soap bubble like histological appearances. So this is very characteristic feature of Niemann-Pick disease. So here also it has been shown here. You can see soap bubble, mulberry tongue has been shown. So you can see this. You can see this is a mulberry soap bubble structure of macrophage laden with lipid. This is histological section. No, we are more concerned about the pathogenesis and deficiency. So you can see hepatomegaly here in type A, and you can see in type A progressive mental retardation, but type B you will not see mental retardation. So you don't have to remember type A and type B. Just remember the both. There is involvement of both. Hepatosplenomegaly is there and neuronal Niemann-Pick disease. So just see this question: 6-month-old female is brought to hospital without a seizure. Her parents say that she has been more irritable and lethargic. On examination, the child is hypertonic. Okay, hyperreflexive. There is no signs of petechiae. Abdominal. There is no signs of organ enlargement or cherroids. So this is a different case. This is a different cases. Okay. This is a different. This is Krabbe disease. Okay, this is Krabbe disease. So let's not talk about this. So let's see this. This is Krabbe disease. It came here. So it is Krabbe disease. You can see 6-month-old brought to hospital with seizure. So Krabbe disease will have seizure because myelin is not there. Spasticity will be there, and there is no such presentation as you have seen the presentation in Niemann-Pick disease. There is no such presentation. There is only demyelination in Krabbe disease. So this is a presentation of Krabbe disease, you can see. And this is globoid leukodystrophy. That is where globoid cell will be seen in biopsy. So remember, so you can see no petechiae is there, no abdominal masses, no cherroid spot. So cherroid spot you will see in patient of Niemann-Pick disease. Let's see this. Concerned parents bring their previously healthy 8-month-old son. So both have the age, similar age. That is why I may have put this question here, no problem. So 8-month-old son for evaluation because he has been losing previously acquired motor skill. And hepatosplenomegaly is there, is noted. And you can see also difference between this Krabbe disease. Krabbe disease has no hepatosplenomegaly, no petechiae, no this cherroid spot. But here you will see the patient, the baby will acquire some of the milestone and then lost milestone in this patient. But here you will see, so patient will lose milestone, but hepatosplenomegaly is there. Noted on examination. Liver biopsy revealed leukocytes with prominent intracellular sphingomyelin accumulates like foam cells in mulberry appearance. Most relevant diagnosis is, now you know the diagnosis, this is Niemann-Pick disease. Did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
So if you have any problem, just let me know because I have to move a bit faster. That is why I'm. So you can remember this. The next disorder is Tay-Sachs disease. So you can remember this picture. This is very thin person, very like mischievous type of thin person. You can imagine that mischievous type of thin person, like behaving like a gangster. And then so this gangster actually does very bad to neurons, brains. You can see this. So I have just given name so that you will remember. So this very big, this man is like, this name is the thin man but very mischievous. This Tay-Sachs, T for Trojan, and this you can remember that with Trojan scene, very real. So this is because of gangliocyte accumulation. That's why he's a gangster. And then nag the brain. So Zeus, this happens in Zeus and nagness and acetylglucosaminidase and acetylglucosaminidase, hexosaminidase. So enzyme deficiency is hexosaminidase, A. So you can remember enzyme and eat them of the brain actually damage the brain. And you can see this very lean and thin man, this bony man, this cannot walk very nicely and have ataxia. So you can put those all into your memory. So have an imagination, fancy imagination of Tay-Sachs. So you can understand the presentation of this Tay-Sachs disease here. Now you can see this histological presentation is this type of person. Now it has been peeled. This person has been peeled. You can this person has been peeled, and this person become bony because of peeling. So you can remember onion peel. So Tay-Sachs disease is related to onion peel appearance in the histological section. So this is the presentation in Tay-Sachs disease. The enzyme deficiency, I told you, hexosaminidase, and that actually remove this this ganglioside that actually catalyze ganglioside. This hexosaminidase A is deficient. So because of this, ganglioside will be accumulated, and this is present in Zeus population in Quebec region of Canada, and here in Cazaria. So these places you will see Ashkenazi Jews living here, and this problem happens in Jewish population. Tay-Sachs disease, Niemann-Pick and Tay-Sachs both happens in. So this sphingolipidosis as a whole, they are more common in Jewish population. And there are 3 types. So you can see in these 3 types, everywhere you can see this ataxia. Here also you can see ataxia. As I told you, the very ataxic type of person, that bony people. So you can remember many things from that picture. So ataxia is there. There is also ataxia, and this based on severity. There are 3 types. Infantile will have a startle response. What does this is very important presentation. Happens in the person within 6 months. Startle, you can see this baby closing his eye, ear. So if small sound will be heard very big by such patients. Small sound. So the patient will give a very strong response, and this is called a startle response, fearful response. So such patients will give a very fearful response to a small stimuli. This is called a startle response. And cherry red dot you can see on the eye because of accumulation of sphingolipid, this ganglioside even in eye also. So that is why this cherry red spot and this type of macrocephaly head will be large. So this 2 presentation is very important in the baby, in infant. So you can see startle responses. Infant will give very fearful response. That is startle response. And because the hearing capacity increases, maybe the patient has more hearing, so capacity. That is why startle response and cherry red macula. And here you will see cerebellar ataxia. Here also see cerebral ataxia. Along with this presentation, you can see other presentation. Obviously, because of ganglioside is accumulated, so mental retardation, cognitive disability will be there, visual loss are there, psychosis, and this other problem, brain-related problem will be there. So you can separate from this. Now you can see, you can differentiate these 2, Niemann-Pick and Tay-Sachs disease. From this finding, you can see in Niemann-Pick disease, you will see abdominal enlargement is there, I told you, but there is no extraneuronal presentation. But in Niemann-Pick, both type of presentation are present. I have told you already. So this is located to CNS only. Onion peel appearance, you know this. And the foamy histiocyte, mulberry appearances you will see here in microscopic examination. Reflexes, hyperreflexia, no areflexia. There is no hyperreflexia here. So you can see enzyme deficiency is this. Now very important, you can see this cherry red spot present in both. This autosomal recessive is present. Very big difference you can see. This can be differentiated from this abdominal. So Tay-Sachs does not have abdominal enlargement. So predominantly neuronal manifestation, minimal extraneuronal, both neuronal and extraneuronal. So you don't see abdominal enlargement in Tay-Sachs. You can see. Do you find this this figure any abdominal belly? Because this is bony person. So you can understand that way also. No abdominal enlargement is there in Tay-Sachs disease. So you can see such question come like this. So 4-month-old girl, Ashkenazi Jewish descent, is brought to hospital showing a seizure. Her parents deny previous seizures. A family history of seizure. They also deny any recent illness, a fever. They say that prior to the seizures, she had appeared to be more weak and lethargic. She had not yet started to lift her head, roll, and laugh. On examination, she is at 35. So growth retardation, this is showing growth retardation, 35% for length, weight, and then 99% for, so you can see in comparison, if you can see, here is macrocephaly. Here you can see the presentation is macrocephaly. So in comparison to the body, head is larger, 99%, about normal. So she has weakly and has soft cry. Her reflexes are extremely brisk. So this is giving you a clue of Tay-Sachs disease. She has clonus in lower legs, a cherry-red spots. So seizure, clonus are there because brain is involved because of accumulation of ganglioside. No hepatosplenomegaly. This is a big clue. And what is the diagnosis here? Tell me, anybody, please.
Tay-Sachs.
Tay-Sachs disease. So you will you able to answer Tay-Sachs disease, and will you able to differentiate Tay-Sachs from Niemann-Pick?
Yes.
Okay.
Please, I have a question from the previous question that you posted.
Yes.
The answer was Krabbe's disease.
Yes.
So this question also had the cherry red spots. So I was confused.
No synaptic abdominal masses or organ enlargement or cherry red spot on macula.
Oh,
no.
Okay, thank you.
Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
No sign. So this two presentation that is seen in Tay-Sachs and this Niemann-Pick disease are not seen in this Krabbe disease, but there will be spasticity and seizure because of loss of myelin in brain. Now let's talk about this Gaucher disease. So can you see this Gaucher disease? Ghost looking. If you remember this picture, you will remember the presentation. So it may seem funny, but I'll tell you how. So you can see it may seem funny. I'm roast. It's delicious. I love glucosylceramide of extraneuronal tissue. So you can see in this picture in cartoon. So the bony enlargement, you can see bony enlargement. Can you see bony enlargement? Distorted bone. Can you see distorted bone? Morphology is distorted. And belly, in large belly.
Yes, sir.
So Gaucher disease, you can, if you remember these two presentation, you will remember Gaucher disease. So what happens in Gaucher disease? There will be bony presentation. So osteopenia means lack of mineralization of bone. Osteopenia is there. And because this glucosylceramide accumulates inside bone, inside this bone marrow, actually bone marrow will be shortened. There will be small girth for bone marrow. And because of that, what will happen? Ultimately, synthesis of blood will be affected. So hematopoiesis is affected. Is affected. So what will happen? There will be pancytopenia. Pan means, as you know, pandemic. All type of blood cells are decreased. This is called pancytopenia. Both WBC, RBC, and platelets. These become slowly low in the blood. So you can see osteopenia, pancytopenia plus hepatosplenomegaly. Did you understand now? So just remember this picture. You will remember Gaucher disease. Now you can see this disease is multi-system lipidosis, as I've told you, hematological changes. Why I have explained it. Organomegaly is there because of accumulation of that lipid only, glucosylceramide. Skeletal involvement, I told you. So bone pain will be there. So you have obviously bone pain, fracture will be there. And then in most condition is, this is also, you can see, Jews population. So it is commonest lysosomal disorder. Now you can see tissue section is this tissue section, you will see in tissue section, very type of wrinkled paper appearance, very beautiful type of paper you can see. The histological section, you will see wrinkled paper appearances. So you can see wrinkled paper appearance. This is called wrinkled paper appearances. Wrinkled paper appearances. You can see in histological section. This is very important terminology, wrinkled paper. So this macrophage wrinkled paper happens because of accumulation of, again, glucosylceramide. So this is very important. So this is glucosylceramide, you know it. Now this is because of deficiency of enzyme glucosylceramidase or glucocerebroside. Just remember glucocerebroside. Glucocerebroside enzyme is deficient. G for Gaucher, G for glucocerebroside enzyme is deficient. Now Gaucher disease, you already know. So because of that bone problem, bone marrow problem, thrombocytopenia, chronic fatigue, anemia, because of bone marrow failure, I have already explained it. Hepatosplenomegaly. So bone plus spleen and liver is problem. Enlargement of spleen, hepatosplenomegaly. So will you all memorize this? Bone, hepatosplenomegaly, and then this wrinkled tissue paper appearances, and then the enzyme deficiency, that is glucocerebrositis. So will you remember this? It is not necessary. It is not necessary to remember type 2 and type 3. I have already given, anyway I have given. So these are less common. You don't require for question. Just do this question again. Can you see severe pain in right knee with standing? Okay, and then diffuse pain in her bones. And see the age. Age is very, very important. In Gaucher disease, the age is childhood. In other diseases, previous diseases we have seen infant. Here childhood, Gaucher disease. So you can see Gaucher is very. You can remember children Gaucher. Remember that way. So no signs of ligament tendon damage is there. So pain has progressively worsened in last week. Joined to the point that she now refuses to stand on her right leg. On examination, she has decreased range of motion of right knee to both active and passive forces. She complains of significant pain during testing. Hepatosplenomegaly is also noted, but examination is otherwise within normal limits. X-ray of the joint is consistent with avascular necrosis. So what is avascular necrosis? Because of accumulation of lipid inside bone that blocked the flow of blood, and that is why this is called avascular. Lack of blood flow to the bone caused necrosis to the joint of femur. And marked osteopenia, demineralization of bone. A complete blood count shows a normal white blood cell, can be sometimes normal in the beginning, with normal differential normal hemoglobin hematocrit in the beginning can be, but it will drop ultimately. But you can see platelet is decreased. So osteopenia, pancytopenia, bone pain, hepatosplenomegaly, these are very peculiar presentation is associated with Gaucher disease. You cannot confuse Gaucher disease with other diseases. So you can, this is, I have taken more time. So you can see this is Fabry disease. We will do it in next time. Okay, this is Fabry disease. So remember this glowing fiber, glowing for globocyte, fiber for Fabry disease, and will burn the hand, eye, heart, and this burning, this rays will damage this organ. So this door organ damage associated with hand, eye, kidney, and heart damage, Fabry disease. So we will talk about the Fabry disease in next class. I have already done many things about